I hope this podcast can inspire you to always dream big and make it your reality. I am your host, Jess Williamson, a serial entrepreneur and business coach.
And today I'm bringing to you another solo episode all about self-sabotage. I know this shows up for so many of you, and we are going to jump into not only why I think self-sabotage is bullshit, but also how you can work through it. So this is going to be a really, really exciting episode, but I wanted to firstly celebrate a big win for myself. Some of you may have seen my Dream Big journal, which is all about setting goals and mindset. And it actually comes with a whole bonus course about goals and mindset and how you can use that as a tool for success. I launched it a couple of weeks ago and it has already sold out. So I wanted to say a huge thank you to all of you that ordered your journal, that have already started using it and smashing your goals already. So I just wanted to say a huge heartfelt thank you to all of your support. But if you didn't get a journal yet, I have some good news. There are some more on their way. So I ordered some quick smart so that I can get them in more of your hands and so that more of you can be smashing your goals sooner rather than later. So if you haven't got a journal, it is only 47 Australian dollars and you get the whole damn online course with it for free. This course is worth hundreds of dollars, and the impact it's going to make on your life, on your business, and on your personal growth is just, you can't even put a value on that. So the journal is absolutely beautiful, by the way. If I do say so myself, I designed it all myself. I did the graphic design, I designed the book, and it's not my first rodeo with manufacturing. Obviously, I had my swimwear brand, but this was a whole new ball game for me. So I would absolutely love your support. I want to support you in reaching your goals and working on your mindset and having more success. So a huge thank you to all of you that have already got yours and made us sell out in less than 2 weeks of launching, which blows my mind. But if you haven't got yours, make sure you jump on over. The link will be in the show notes. Otherwise, head to my website, jessicawilliamson.com.au, and you can get your very own journal. And I just wanted to celebrate that with you and also remind you to celebrate some of your wins as well. But now we're going to jump into the episode. We have this whole episode all about self-sabotage. Have you ever felt like you were self-sabotaging? You had a goal and you're like, I know what my goal is, but I'm behaving in a different way. Like my goal and my behavior just don't match. I know I want to be successful, but why do I keep sabotaging myself? If you've been there, it can be super frustrating, and you're not alone. That is why I am doing this episode today. And you might have realized the title is called Self-Sabotage is Bullshit, because I believe that self-sabotage does not exist. Unpopular opinion, but self-sabotage doesn't exist. And I'm going to tell you why. Here's the thing. You know I'm passionate about mindset, and this is definitely going to come back down to mindset, because the whole purpose of your subconscious mind is to protect and help you. So why on earth would it go out of its way to sabotage you? It makes no sense whatsoever. Now, if we think back to the caveman days, our brains are wired to protect you from danger and threats. It is an inbuilt reaction that we have to protect ourselves. It's the fight or flight capabilities, right? So if you start working towards your goals in your business and you know it looks shiny and fun, it looks really great, and you're working towards them, if it's not actually aligned to who you are at the core, or it is harming other areas of your life, your subconscious mind knows what's up. Your subconscious mind is like, hell no, this business is not a good time. This business is a threat. So I'm going to walk you through this and unpack this a little bit more, because you're probably like, holy shit, this is just too much, Jess. So you've probably started your business. You end up working 12-hour days, you're not spending time with loved ones, maybe you're sacrificing fun, you're sacrificing everything else to make a ton of cash or to hit the goals that maybe aren't even your goals. If you haven't listened to the other episode that I recently did about redefining your idea of success, make sure you go and listen to that straight after this because they kind of work together. But you end up working 24/7, not having any fun, and working towards goals that maybe aren't even your goals. Maybe you don't need all this cash, or maybe you don't want all these shiny things that you think you need to work towards to be successful. Maybe you just feel like you're trying to swim upstream in life and it feels hard. It doesn't have to be hard. But if your business starts to harm all the other things that you care about, let me say that again. If your business starts to harm all the other things that you care about, then you're going to self-sabotage because your brain wants to protect you. Your brain wants to eliminate that threat. And the threat is the business. You never start a business to say, hey, I'm going to start a business so that I can never have any more fun, that I don't see my family, and that my health suffers. No one starts that. But somehow we all end up there from time to time, right? We sometimes end up there. So what happens next is if your business is not supporting the things that you value or the lifestyle you truly want, no amount of pushing and motivation is going to get you there. So let's unpack this. Let's work through how we can actually do it properly. Because if your subconscious mind sees your business as a threat, then it's going to do what it can to eliminate it. And that shows up as self-sabotage. That shows up as lack of motivation. That shows up as roadblocks, failure, procrastination, all of these things. But when we think about it, none of these things really exist, because they are just a symptom of the deeper issue that you're not actually clear on what your values are and what your true idea of success is. Sounds pretty simple when we unpack it, but so often people are like, ooh, I'm procrastinating. I better just stop watching TV. Now that's not going to help if your brain still says, well, TV's not the problem. The damn business is, or the fact that I'm not actually having any fun is the problem. The lack of motivation, showing up and not feeling enthused or excited about your business. You can't just keep pushing on, try and motivate yourself because that's going to be a short-term fix. That self-sabotage, that procrastination, they're going to keep coming back, right? So when people try and combat self-sabotage or procrastination, I see this all the time, that they just try to keep pushing, keep hustling harder, working more hours, reading more books, thinking that they'll have the answers, finding motivation elsewhere. Maybe you're seeking the latest hacks or quick fixes, and maybe you're just pushing through. But these are only treating the symptom, not the cause. You take your car to the mechanic because it's overheating. Do you think the mechanic says, let's just whack a fan under the bonnet and that should keep it cool for now? Would you be pretty concerned if your mechanic did that, right? So usually the mechanic would look deeper. They would look at the motor. They would have a look at what is the actual problem here. They don't just slap a damn fan under the cover or under the hood and say, right, it's fixed, it shouldn't overheat anymore, because they've solved the overheating issue, right? They put a fan in, it should keep it cool. Sounds crazy. So why do we do this to ourselves? Stop putting the fan under the bonnet and start looking for the actual problem. So a client came to me feeling really, really stuck in her business. And what she was coming up against was she was constantly hitting this self-sabotage behavior. She was procrastinating. She was finding all of the housework, all of the things around the home to do other than working on her business. But then she'd end up working late nights and hustling all damn day on this business. She didn't find the business fun anymore. And she came to me looking for the solution, looking for the motivation, looking for the answer to why her business wasn't growing. She came to me and she thought I was going to tell her, just toughen up, just keep pushing, just stop doing all the other things that you're doing. But as you guys now know, as a good coach, I knew there was something lying deeper. And if she kept pushing, she would keep hitting the same roadblocks. So we dig deeper. I did a session with her on this, and when we dug deeper, it turned out that as her business was growing, she was gaining some really good success, really exciting success. But it meant that she was spending less time with her family and kids. She actually stopped exercising altogether, and she wasn't eating the best either. She was trying to feed the kids, feed herself, run the business, do everything, as mums do. So she was just grabbing whatever food she could find. But subconsciously, the story that she was then telling herself was the business was to blame for not spending time on herself, her health, or her family. But consciously, she didn't know this. Consciously, we think the problem is the business. The problem is my lack of motivation. But subconsciously, our brain knows what's up. So when we dug deeper, I worked with her on this because the biggest problem is sometimes you don't know what's under the hood. Sometimes you don't know what's actually going on deeper. And so I worked with her as a coach to dig deep and really figure this out. But her brain was saying, hey, this business is stealing all my time with my family. It's harming my health and harming everything that she loved. So her mind was doing the best to protect her by trying to eliminate this threat. She'd lost all love for her business. She was ready to give up, to close it down, to do whatever else she could other than running this business, right? She had decided that that's got to be the best decision. The business isn't working. I feel like a failure. I hate this job. All of those thoughts that are coming up, which we all have from time to time. Maybe you're there right now. But what we did was, instead of me telling her to push harder in the business, what she thought I was going to tell her, the only way for her to have more success in her business was to actually spend less time in her business. It sounds counterproductive, but it is the best thing she could have ever done, because by spending more time with her kids, more focused time as well, not multitasking time, but focused time with her kids and her family. And we actually mapped out and implemented a better health routine so that she put that health first before the business in her days. Guess what happened? As a result, she increased her income by 20% and she streamlined her business so that she could spend more time with her kids, spend more time on her health, and spend more time doing the things she loved, which is the whole reason why she started this business to start with. It's the whole reason I started my business. I've been there as well. I was at the point where I was waking up and working first thing every day. On the weekends, I would go to my boyfriend's house and I would think that was quality time, but I was sitting there on my computer. I wasn't spending quality time with him, and that was okay for a while. Sometimes we do have to have periods of hustle, periods of time where we really focus and knuckle down. But it is not sustainable long term for this exact reason. So often when I speak to people, especially females in business, they're looking for complicated solutions to a simple problem. When we understand what's actually happening deeper, we can solve it. It sounds logical, right? Once we unpacked it, once we understood what the actual problem was, we could solve it. You're not going to go to a brain surgeon with a tumor and they just say, oh, the tumor's giving you a headache, better just take a Panadol. No, they're going to do the surgery, they're going to do whatever it takes to solve that problem because they know what it is, what lies deeper. So let's stop solving or treating the symptom and let's get to the core root of the issue. Because until you actually figure out what exactly success means to you, what your true core values are in life, and what exactly that looks like, you're going to keep hitting these roadblocks over and over and over and over and over again. But now you're probably thinking, wow, Jess, this has shifted my perspective. This is great. But how do I figure out what the underlying issue is myself? The challenge is sometimes we consciously don't know these things, or we can't quite pinpoint them, but deep down in our subconscious mind, we do know. And so Sometimes meditating can help. Sometimes taking that time out of your business firstly can help. We're actually doing a whole exercise at my upcoming Ignite the Dream retreat on this exactly, on the values work, where we're going to dive deep into what matters to the ladies on the retreat. But if you're not coming to the retreat or you're not working with me one-on-one, because I also do that one-on-one with my clients, you can just take a step out. Just start to reflect on what does success mean to me. Go and listen to that podcast episode and really understand that. And make sure that you have elements of all of that in your life. But what I mentioned at the start around my Dream Big journal, I actually have a whole section in the Dream Big journal around setting goals for all areas of your life. Now, we know the reason why I have that, right? I didn't make a business goals journal with only business goals. There's a whole section in there for business goals, but it starts with holistic life goals. And that's inside of my Dream Big journal because of this reason exactly. So in the journal, there are actually 9 whole areas, 9 categories for you to set the goals and work out, where do I need to focus on? What do I want to implement into my life in all of these areas so that you can have more balance? Now, there's going to be periods where health is higher than business. There's going to be other times when fun is higher, and they all operate on varying scales, but there still needs to be an element of all of these parts in your life. We can't have a life with zero fun. I mean, we could, but it's not gonna last long, right? We can't have a life with zero love or zero business or zero money. You know, all of these things all actually impact each other. And that's why we need to prioritize all of them in a way, in a roundabouts way. They might be weighted slightly different, but they all need to be present. So inside of my Dream Big journal, I actually have a whole lesson on this alone. I think there's about 9-10 videos that accompany the journal for free, and only one of them is about this. So if you found this helpful, then you definitely need the journal, because there's 9 or 10 other videos that go into so much detail around how the mind, how the brain works, and how you can really use that as a tool for success. So many people go and they set goals, but without understanding this first, you can see how it might not work, right? If you just set goals and you said, all right, my goal is to 10 times my income, hire some staff, go on a holiday, and you set all these business goals and you forget about the rest of your life, then you're going to hit procrastination. You're going to hit that self-sabotage, and success is not going to come. Like, that's when at the start of this podcast I said, sometimes you have goals and your behavior looks very different. You're like, I have the goal. I know I want this goal, but why am I behaving like this? For this exact reason. So I hope this has really opened your mind. I know that some people that I've shared this with before, it's been like mind-blowing. So if it has resonated with you, if this is like made you realize some things about your life, about your current goals, please send me a DM. Honestly, I love to hear from you, because otherwise it's just me with my microphone and my laptop talking to my computer right now. But I'm talking to you. The reason why I do this is for you. And so I would love to hear from you. Send me a DM. Honestly, I don't bite. My DMs are always open. So you can find me on Instagram at jess.williamson8 and let me know what you thought about this episode, because I hope that really, really helps. If you are interested, then make sure you get your hands on one of these journals, because to be honest, I don't know when the next batch is going to sell out. So make sure you go and grab yourself a journal, and let's get started on making the rest of this year and next year the most successful and abundant year yet for you. I hope this has been enjoyable. I hope this has been mind-opening, eye-opening, and I cannot wait to see all the success that you achieve from shifting this bit of mindset. As always, if you did enjoy this, please make sure you screenshot it, share it to your social media, tag me at jess.williamson8, hit that subscribe button so that you can be notified every single week when there is a new episode. I will speak to you all soon, and I'll be back next Thursday.